My name is Kitty Galt, and I was Rector's Warden here at All Saints Church in the year 1983. My most memorable event was the starting of All Saints Women's Shelter. The rector from St. Albans came here and was preaching about how we heat these buildings and we pay exorbitant amounts, and there are people sleeping in the snow and ice. And I went up to him afterwards. He said we should sleep people in the church. And I went up to him afterwards and I said, you know, what you're suggesting is just a Band-Aid. And he turned around to me and he said, and what's wrong with Band-Aids? So All Saints Women's Shelter was born, it opened the night of December the 23rd, 1983. A lot of people thought we were crazy to open just before Christmas, but there was a certain parishioner here, Ian Bain, who came to me one day and he said, if you get it open before Christmas, I'll play Santa Claus. And so we did, and he did. And we opened that night in Bate Hall. We had a couple of cots, those camp cots that you sleep on. And we had women immediately. We opened a shelter for women because there were no facilities for women in the city of Ottawa. We took a vote in the parish on whether to proceed with this idea. And we did. We had a unanimous vote that we should continue with this project, which was very rewarding. I mean, it was something that I felt that the whole parish were behind. Even those who were reluctant at first came to see that there was a need and rallied and supported us. And the diocese did buy us. We were bought another building on Bessara, but the women didn't leave. The women from St. Joe's, after we'd been open for about 6 weeks or so, came and offered to give the women breakfast. Because it's really hard to sleep on a church floor, on a cot on a church floor, and then at 6 in the morning go out into the cold. And so the women had somewhere to go by going to St. Joe's, and it was a great example of how two churches can work really closely together in a community. But I realized that every woman that we took in was older than my mother at the time, and I found that a very sobering thought. And I certainly don't want to be on the street when I'm that age. From my time here, I remember that when I first moved to Sandy Hill in it would have been about 1980, and I came up here and there was no Sunday school, which is funny if you know a lot about this church, because in fact that's why Bate Hall was built, because it was for a Sunday school, and that was full at one point, obviously. And I came up here and there was no Sunday school, and I had children, and I met the new rector, David Moore, and I said, well, you know, I'll come sometimes, but it's difficult with small children. And not too much later, I got a phone call, and he said, I've got another mother. There's another lady here who's got children. So we restarted the Sunday school. We took it in turns to watch each other's children. And you know, if you do that, if you have Sunday school, then other people will come. And so it grew. And so for me, this church has been a lot of firsts. I will always have a special spot in my heart for this place, because it really gave me an opportunity to do things and to support me in those things, and it gave me confidence to go on and do other things. So I'm sorry to see it go.
And I've lived in Sandy Hill for 35 years. I became affiliated with All Saints 31 years ago when they started the women's shelter, which was started by Kitty Galt. I volunteered here. I set up a second-hand clothing store for the women in Bate Hall so the women could come and get their clothes. My husband and I cooked meals Thursday and Friday nights and delivered them here to All Saints. And All Saints has been a big part of our life. We've volunteered here over the years, although we're a different faith, but we do come to All Saints, and we're going to miss All Saints very much.
So my name is Louise Lalonde, and I'm the Spirit Art Studio Coordinator. It's been a wonderful adventure. It started last summer with the blessing of having a studio name and a space to renovate and get ready for these wonderful workshops that we've had. We've had 2 wonderful semesters. We've had about 100 participants each semester, and it's been really successful considering this is just the first year. We've had workshops on poetry, on improv, on art making masks, on dancing, all sorts of really amazing things that are art-based and that allow people to really touch base with their own creativity, to explore it, and then to also have some quiet time where they can reflect and touch base with their wisdom. So I want to thank you, the whole congregation of All Saints, for making this space available for us and for people to come and express their own creativity.
My name is Mary Judy Jones, and I live in Victoria, British Columbia. I'm a visitor, so I've been visiting for 16 years.
And you always come back here? You haven't tried other places in the neighbourhood?
Not very much, because I found it a very friendly church, and I really like the old church. And there were activities, and I've attended those, and I was in this room this time twice when she was doing her spirit art. I want to talk a little bit about the church itself, because when I came, I was really impressed by the stained glass windows, and remember I said I was dealing with the spraying that we were trying to fight. Well, I looked at that stained glass window on the left-hand side, and it is of a warrior kneeling in the armor, a knight in armor, kneeling I presume before he's going to be knighted or something. And I took that as what is the word? Inspiration for continuing the struggle. Yes. Anyway, I very much regret this closing. I do. And for everybody and for the community, because it was offering so much culturally as well. So I'm hoping that the work they're doing can go forward in some form